Rockets, and you're listening to
the All Over the Place podcast, where the fun sanity never ends.
Hello, welcome back to All Over the Place, the official podcast of Media Pub Live. I'm your host, Eric Pervoznik. How's it going, everybody? We got a full house and then some tonight. So let's just cut right to it. It's another music-oriented episode to kick off 2024. We are ready for the new year. We're doing some music, and we've got Jim Culver. Hey. We've got Christine.
Hey there. Hello.
And Marty Zamora back in the house with us.
Scream for me, Long Beach.
Well, you were there. Do it again. Scream for me, Long Beach. There you go. And joining us tonight, our associate producer, Skeeter, will be joining in on tonight's Threefer. Woohoo! So, tonight's Threefer, we are going to be doing 3 real bands, our favorite 3 bands, actual bands, who popped up in TV shows, episodes, or movies. And then our plus 1 will be our favorite fictional band. That is not Spinal Tap. Although, in thinking about this, yes, it was a mockumentary, but Spinal Tap has released multiple albums.
It's a real band.
So they are a real band. So we're kind of, killing ourselves with that caveat right off the bat. But anyhow, so we're not naming Spinal Tap because they are the
penultimate.
Yes, penultimate. They're next to last. No, they are the ultimate. Christine has got me
Ultimate.
Yeah. So it's the picker of nits. That is I. So, but one thing I just want to kick off because it's movies or TV shows. One of the ones that I came up with, I'm just kicking it right out of the gate, just throwing it out there. My ultimate honorable mention tonight is from the old Bloom County comic strip, Billy and the Boingers. Fictional band, awesomeness. You got Opus on the tuba, a real heavy metal band. Bill the Cat screaming away, or whatever Bill the Cat did. And they got through their death tongue phase with the umlauts, but Billy and the Boingers, I think you're sick and I love you. You're really sick.
Doesn't count.
But Billy, I've been told it doesn't qualify tonight.
Doesn't count. It's a cartoon. It's not a movie or a TV show.
Comic strip. But it's out there. Billy and the Boingers, Burt Preston.
That's different then.
Much love. That's a whole different strip, Eric. And Marmaduke put on the sideburns and thought he was Elvis. So that's a different show. But tonight, we're going to get things off, and we're gonna do the clockwise thing again tonight. Christine, going to start with you. And we're starting with our 3 for this evening will be, once again, real bands who were on a TV episode or they were in a movie. Christine, to you.
Okay, so since one of mine was already outed earlier in our pre-show, I'm going to go ahead and name it first. The Flaming Lips on 90210, and they also appeared on Yo Gabba Gabba, but technically because Yo Gabba Gabba was kind of a variety show type thing in which they had like a music part of it. A lot of bands were on that, so that one probably doesn't really count, but Flaming Lips on 90210, that absolutely does count. And they did sing She Don't Use Jelly.
No, she don't. And very quick, to that point with Christine, and I hope I'm not stepping on anybody's toes. If you want to go for it, I say fine. But those of us of a certain age, we were lucky that The Muppet Show had musical guests on all the time. So if anyone picked The Muppet Show for their musical guests, that's awesome. Not a disqualifier. But actually, I never watched Yo Gabba Gabba, but anybody have any, besides Christine saying Flaming Lips, does anyone have a Yo Gabba Gabba favorite? And the uncomfortable silence visits the show right off the bat.
That show is
Aquabats. I thought Aquabats was pretty amazing on Yo Gabba Gabba.
See, Christine's already coming up with a second one. There you go.
Yo Gabba Gabba is basically the equivalent of what it feels like to be on acid. If you watch the show, kind of the same experience. So I've heard.
But it's for kids.
So basically, Martin, for those of us of a certain age, kind of like watching Banana Splits.
Yeah, that's a good comparison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or some might say The Muppet Show. Try watching some of those episodes of The Muppet Show now. It's like, man, those guys were high. But anyway. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
High on life.
High on life.
Of
Rest
course.
in peace. Jim Henson, rest in
Yep.
peace. All right, Skeeter, over to you.
I'm gonna go with Shakira. She performed on an episode of The Wizard of Waverly Place,
Ah,
and honestly, I couldn't think of much, so that definitely made it up there.
I'm going to say that's a strange pull right after the Muppets reference because she does sound like Kermit.
I really hope Shakira doesn't watch the podcast because
We will never be able to unhear that now.
She'll be tagged.
I hope she does. We can use some publicity.
So, did this help my audio?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm such a professional. The microphone's sitting over here. And look at that. What's that for? Weird.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
Man, I'm good at
Light in
this.
your face.
And great
Welcome
timing.
back.
So good at this.
No apologies to John Sebastian butchering the Welcome Back Cotter theme. All right, Jim, over to you.
All right, my first pick is a band I had actually never heard of until they were in. I saw them in a movie and instantly became a fan. It's Morris Day and the Time from Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. Maybe it's a generational thing. They were just before my time, but I just was not familiar with them until I saw them in that movie. And I was like, man, these guys are freaking awesome. I totally understand why Kevin Smith just spent half of his movie kissing up to them and talking about how great they are, because they just absolutely tear it up. They're awesome, and been a fan ever since. They're a great band and a ton of fun to listen to.
Yes, they are.
Jay and Silent Bob modeled their lives on Morris Day and Jerome. And I hope you have gone back and at least listened to Pandemonium and Ice Cream Castle, two classics.
Oh man. Good
Yes.
songs.
Yes.
Oh, and some little movie from 1984 known as Purple Rain. Yeah, that one too.
Yes. Well, could you have done that as a cameo?
That's an excellent
course.
question, but because they were playing themselves in that movie. Although
Yeah.
Prince, technically his name in that movie was The Kid,
Yeah.
but the band was The Revolution.
Right. So not fictional. So you could have used either one of those for Morris Day and the Time. Wow, multi-dimensional.
Yep.
Layers upon layers, and that's why we keep Spinal Tap. Oh,
You could say he was the kid formerly known as Prince.
I like it. I see what you did. there.
bam!
Yep.
Jim is kicking it in 2024.
Anybody notice how amazingly clever we are? It's shocking.
It's a fine line between stupid and clever.
Yes.
Marty, take us to 11.
Oh, right. Turn it up to 11. So now that I have a microphone and you can hear me more clearly when I say sibilants, my bronze, as it were, 1986, Stevie Wonder on The Cosby Show.
Nice call.
I would
Yes.
have to admit, they sang his cheesiest, worst song, but hey, I dug it. You know, it was Stevie Wonder, and I really liked him. And even though I was like, "Wow, Mr. Metal," I like Stevie Wonder music.
It's Stevie Wonder.
Yeah, my old man listened to it. My mom liked it. It was a thing. I liked it, and we all watched the Cosbys, and so by '86, you know, I was still watching it, and Stevie Wonder comes on and makes my evening. I thought it was great. And
Now, you said his cheesiest. Would that be I Just Called to Say I Love You?
yes, he sang it with the wife, Mrs. Cosby, played by
Cosby's wife?
yes.
Priscilla Rashad.
Felicia Rashad.
Felicia Rashad.
Felicia Rashad.
Or
Okay.
what, was she Felicia Rashad by that point, or was she still?
No, she was.
Felicia,
She was married to Ahmad.
because her sister was the main dancer in Fame, and I'm blanking on her. Trivia with Jim. Can we go to you on that one? The movie Fame, the main dancer in that, Felicia Rashad.
I'm actually never seen that. So you're going to the wrong. Sorry, barking up the wrong tree.
all
there.
right. Well, maybe it'll come to
Are you talking about Irene Cara?
No. The teacher, dancer.
Oh, Debbie. Debbie.
Allen? Debbie Allen.
Yes, Debbie Allen. Yep.
Felicia Allen Rashad. That's what. Yes, there we go.
Okay.
It's teamwork here on All Over the Place, folks. It's teamwork. And I Just called to say
Nobody
I
will
love
get
you, Rob Prince in 1984 for Best Song from a Motion Picture.
Absolutely, 100%.
All right. Well, this list for me, there are too many choices. So I'm just going to name one of. Every time I go, I'm going to name an honorable mention for my bronze, silver,
my.
and gold. Yes,
Ah.
they're just so many. Skeeter, if you want to borrow any of these, feel free.
So, because this is a music-based episode, are we going to have a playlist with every single
As
band
much as
that you are
possible.
or that's being mentioned?
In a word, duh. Yeah. So as much as we can, and we'll find the edited version. I just called to say I love you, so it doesn't have to be the full one. Yeah.
Okay.
With a live version.
Yeah. So my first honorable mention will go to probably the one that I saw first. Ann-Margret appearing as Ann-Margret on the Flintstones.
The Flintstones. And Ann-Margret gave Elvis the crabs.
Well, if the Shakira thing's not going to get us some flack, that one surely will.
I forgot to say a little known fact, but there you go.
But she was singing, she was dancing, she was boogieing it up there on the Flintstones.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just an honorable mention. My bronze is going to be going to Motorhead, appearing on the show The Young Ones.
Yeah.
Which was my introduction to Motorhead, because MTV wasn't really playing metal videos by that point. But they were showing The Young Ones. And I think that was maybe 84, 85. And they came on and they shifted over to Lemmy and the band doing Ace of Spades. Fan instantly. Loved it from that point on. So Motorhead on The Young Ones. That is my bronze.
Skeeter,
Christine.
you look uncomfortably young.
Skeeter, you might like The Young Ones.
It's like,
Skeeter.
I have no idea who any of these people are.
Just a smidge.
The Young Ones it's yeah, I think you would dig it. It's Marty, help me out. What am I looking for here? It's subversive enough. I think it'd be a good one.
There you go.
Left of the dial, so to speak. So
Yeah.
look
I'll
it up
look for
at your
the
risk.
It had an
playlist.
indie feel.
Yeah, check it out on YouTube. There's got to be clips on there somewhere. Look for Vivian, and Neil.
Weren't they punkers in that show? Like,
one was a punker, one
Yeah.
was a stoner / hippie, and then Rick was the quote unquote sensible one.
but they were all British. It was a British.
It was a British show,
comedy
yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it had a very indie feel to it.
It
Very
had a
much.
super indie feel to it. Yeah. Yeah.
Christine, to you.
Okay, so my next one is Prince on New Girl.
I do remember that. That was cool.
Yep. Yeah.
Would you like to perform his scene?
Hit it.
Well, I just love how in the that clip, Jake John, I can't even remember his name, but
J. Jonah Jameson.
what is his name in that? Zoe Deschanel and then the other guy. I can't remember their names.
I only
think it's
watched for the
Jake
clip of
and
Prince, so I
somebody
don't know.
can't remember their names, but they happen upon Prince, and they're just like standing in front of him, like
Flabbergasted, jaws to floor.
not saying anything, about to burst, and he's just talking to them and all that. And then all of a sudden he stops and he goes, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, my rudeness. I did not give you enough time to freak out. Go ahead and freak out." And then they're like, "Oh my God, it's Prince! Oh my God, it's Prince!" And they're all freaking out, and then
Very clever.
go on and have a conversation. It's really cute.
Very clever.
Excellent.
He did
There
the
was
Prince
Prince,
voice, though.
later stage Prince, unfortunately, before he passed, and he was rocking the fro.
That was an
Mhm.
interesting look.
He
That-
did have a
it-
glorious
it
throw
was-
in it. Yes.
That's the only way to
surprising look
describe that
for me.
fro. His glorious,
Yep.
not Oscar Gamble glorious, but glorious. Yes.
It's pretty close. Pretty good. Yeah.
All right, Skeeter. Do we want to, since you were on a lesser number tonight, do you want to skip this round and go to the next one? Or you want to jump right in with everything right off the bat?
I think I got another one.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if it's still on Netflix, but it's called Sabrina, the Teenage Witch.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Yep.
where you're going.
Britney Spears appeared on that. and-
Really?
Yes. I couldn't tell you what episode it was, but she was like teaching her how to dance to the song. Crazy, I think.
Okay.
But I'll look up the exact episode and I'll tell you. But yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
Brit.
Good one.
Yeah.
Pre mental breakdown for Brit. So yeah, she was still maybe still flashing some of that Mickey Mouse Club acting talent.
It's the Michael Jackson effect. If you stay famous for too long, you lose it.
Yep.
You got to have
Yep.
an ebb and flow, or you'll lose it.
Speaking of Britney Spears, I've never been a big fan of her singing really that much or her acting, but I will say she was on How I Met Your Mother back in the day. And
Yes.
she was surprisingly good on that show. Like she had some really good comedy chops. She was really funny in that. Yeah, look, you can look it up on YouTube, but she's actually has some really good comic timing on that show. I think she could have had a regular gig on a show like that if she wanted to pursue that.
Could have been somebody.
Yeah,
It's not too late.
instead of just a wildly successful singer, she
So,
would have been.
so Jim, are we going to call that an honor? Are we going to call that an accidental honorable mention for you?
I will put that in one of my HMs. Yeah.
Yes. All right.
I
very good.
actually just saw today, right before we came on, she's in a new commercial with none other than Kevin Bacon.
Oh,
Really?
Gel.
Hear that, Gel?
Not Kenny
The
Warhol.
ubiquitous Bacon.
Kevin Bacon.
Yep.
Forget Kali Ma. Kevin Bacon will rule the world.
Yes. Yep.
or 7
Exactly.
times removed from it. Yeah.
All right. Well, Jim, to your number 2 or your bronze or however you want to order this.
Okay,
That
my
would be
number 2.
silver.
This is I think maybe the funniest musician cameo in a movie ever. It makes me laugh every time. Alice Cooper in Wayne's World.
Yeah.
So funny, so funny. And
Awesome.
apparently he thought he was just going to perform in that. Yeah, exactly. He thought he was just going to play music and have like a quick line, but then they showed up on set and they gave him an entire monologue to say about the history of Milwaukee, and he just rolled with it. He made it work perfectly. And
that was
it's
so excellent.
he's hilarious in that, just perfectly playing against his onstage image, and it's hilarious. I absolutely love that scene with him backstage, and Wayne and Garth are trying not to spurg out while he's giving them the nerdiest trivia ever, and it's so funny. I absolutely love that cameo. That's a great scene.
And as we learned on our recent episode with Danny Zalesko, I'm starting to think that Alice maybe knew that trivia without the monologue being handed to him.
It's entirely
He just-
possible.
May have.
Just an ordinary average guy. Marty, to you,
What are we doing?
your bronze.
I'm just kidding. I already did my
Silver.
bronze.
Silver.
I'm
my
on
love.
silver.
Silver.
So
What is
this
this,
one,
silver?
I did not. I've broken the rules, unbeknownst to me, but it was an easy one, and I probably would have rebelled out anyway and said, "Screw that! I'm doing it anyway." It's the Ramones on The Simpsons. Too friggin' cool.
That counts. Why wouldn't that
Well, it's
count?
animated. It's animated. And
No,
Eric
it's
was
a
show.
shitting on it. You
So
were shitting
so
on
was
it, Eric.
Ann-Margret on the Flintstones.
Well,
Show.
okay. All right. Well, forget everything I just said. The Ramones on The Simpsons. That was awesome. That was so cool. Unexpected for me. I'm like, why are the Ramones on here? They're not really, they're hardly Green Day. That was hyperbole. I was kidding. Very kidding.
I
Very
believe they're
joking.
saying Boo Earns. Boo Earns.
So yeah, that was very, yes, exactly. That was very cool. Just the way they animated them perfectly. That was definitely the Ramones. It was just very cool and unexpected. Once again, that show doesn't disappoint. Loved it.
Seasons 1 through 9. I can't think of a bad episode of that show.
You have a problem with season 10?
That's when what you're saying.
I know
You
what you
stick
meant.
around in Hollywood too long, you wear out your welcome. The repetition.
Well, apparently the South Park guys didn't get that memo because they just lit it up recently.
Can't go wrong with the Panderverse, but that's a discussion for another show. But nice call with the Ramones. Love that.
Yeah, I love the Ramones. I think it was like around early 90s.
Early 90s, yeah.
93, something like that. Yeah.
I
Really
guess
cool.
season. If I were a gamble man, and I'm not, I would guess season 3 or 4. I go with season 4. We'll look it up later. We'll include
Skeeter
some
says
Ramones
no.
on the playlist for sure. And up yours, Springfield. All right, so my honorable mention number 2 before I get to my silver, not my bronze. Sorry, Marty. I'm going to go
Count 3.
with he sold tons of stereo equipment just so he could have enough money to bring in Snoop-a-Loop in Old School.
Oh yes, I forgot about that. Oh, so cool.
Digging around in his pocket for lint, doing a little Eric B. and Rakim throwback
that
on
was
that one. Little
such
sample.
a
I love that one. So Snoop-a-Loop is an honorable mention. My number 2, though.
Yes, you bring a green hat.
Bring a green hat. The amount of times that we don't go. Well, Loopy is our dog here, one of our dogs here in the house. So we're always saying Snoop-a-Loop. And we tell the little Jack Russell to bring her green hat, but she never has it handy.
She doesn't have one.
Halloween next year, we're going to get her a green hat. She can go with Snoop-a-Loop. So, but my actual bronze is going to go to ZZ
Silver.
Top on King of the Hill. Another animated show.
Eric,
Yeah.
you're having trouble counting to 3. That's your silver.
Number 2, silver.
You said bronze. Can you
I'm
see
stuck
Christine?
on bronze.
Can you see
On you.
Christine cracking up? There's a reason. Look at that. Skeeter's smiling. Jim
It's
is
the bullet
respectfully holding it in.
Frontier whiskey
Oh,
helping me
Lord.
not.
How many glasses?
For God's sake, I'm a broadcast graduate.
Which one? Is the alcohol that you spilled in the carpet like permeating the whole room?
Refuse.
Spilled in the carpet.
I'm a broadcast film and theater graduate. Counting, not my strong suit.
I was told there'd be no math.
Exactly. And as an umpire, once we get past 3 and 2 on the indicator, I'm done. So my silver, my number 2 is ZZ Top on King of the Hill with an added bonus that Dusty Hill, the bass player, rest in peace, was Hank Hill's cousin.
Yeah, that's
and the
cool.
shenanigans they pulled on that show were hilarious and fit the show perfectly. And yeah, they were perfect on the show, and it was great. ZZ Top on the King of the Hill.
For sure. For sure.
All right, Christine, over to you for your number 1 or your gold.
Okay, my gold is from the show Portlandia. Anybody watch it? Anybody watch Portlandia?
I have.
Amy Mann as the housekeeper.
An actual thespian role, not just playing herself.
But she was playing herself.
Oh, good God. I need to.
Where Fred Armisen and Carrie, can't remember her last name, are trying to figure, they're like, I think my housekeeper's Amy Mann. And they're like standing in the kitchen going, that's Amy Mann. Is that Amy Mann? And they finally start talking to her, and yeah, it's Amy Mann. And she's on a bunch of episodes. It's pretty funny. She had a recurring role.
I do need to catch up with that show. I like Fred Armisen. So
It's very offbeat comedy. It's a little bit out there, but I dig it.
Yeah, you're going to have to power through some of the lefty kind of stuff, but it doesn't really.
Yeah, it's Portland. Like, yeah, seriously.
They were accidentally.
Portland, we love
they
you.
were accidentally doing it. I think that they probably not happy that they did that show, because now you're supposed to just feel the way that they feel, but like in real life.
Yeah. That show's funny until you move to the Pacific Northwest, and then it's a documentary you're living in.
That's why they made it.
Yeah, they made it and made fun of that culture before people were like, no, you have to like that culture. That's the good culture to like. And they were,
right.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Didn't realize these were the good people.
Amy Mann's not my housekeeper. All right, Skeeter, to you with your newly discovered, or whatever order you want to put it in, for your third one entry.
All right, I got an honorable mention.
Ooh.
Hold on, now I'm spacing.
Super.
It's on Full House. Give me 2 seconds. Okay, yeah. I wanted to say the Backstreet Boys, but no, it was the Beach Boys.
It
Yeah.
was the Beach Boys.
Yeah, they were on Full House. That
I
would be my
remember that.
honorable mention, but I would have to say my top number one, because I love her, would be Stevie Nicks appearing on American Horror Story, which I said on our, what do you call it? Your
Pre-show.
Pre-show?
Yeah.
Wasn't she like a succubus or something?
On American Horror Story?
Yeah, what did she play on that?
I
Don't
mean, it was
remember.
during the witch thing. It was the coven season.
Oh,
So,
okay.
yeah.
Part of the coven.
Makes sense.
So,
And
I need to
little
catch up
trivia
on
for
that.
you
I
here,
only watched
Skeeter.
the first season.
The Beach Boys appearing. Trivia with we'll just put trivia with Eric on that one.
Yeah, it's all
Beach
good.
Boys.
You get
Beach
credit for
Boys
all of it.
appearing on Full House is a bit of a nod to John Stamos, who was a touring drummer with them for a little while.
Really?
Yep.
So that was
Kokomo.
so he was touring with them before they were on the show.
I believe he was in. I could
I
be
thought
off
it
on
was
this.
the
I
other way
believe in
around.
the '80s he was a touring drummer with them. If you look in the video for Kokomo,
Mhm.
John is playing drums.
He's on the drums. Yep.
Mhm. Interesting.
Steel
That's cool.
drums.
So
Great.
there you go.
One more
Trivia with
thing.
Jim, trivia with Eric, and now over to Jim.
Okay, so I'm going to start by bringing up a couple honorable mentions. Since you brought up ZZ Top, I forgot about this until you brought up ZZ Top, but Billy from ZZ Top being one of the main characters' father on Bones was one of the weirdest twists to a TV show. And the fact that they didn't even really do anything with it except just have him be himself and just have this character's dad be that guy. It was, I don't know. It was interesting. It had an interesting color to that show.
Was he like from ZZ Top?
Yeah, he was himself.
And just happened to be the dad of
the dad of this character.
It's kind of clever.
So it was actually kind of clever, yeah. So that's one. Another is going to be the Dan Band. I don't know if you guys are familiar with them. They're a band that was on Old School and some other comedies in the early 2000s. Wedding Singer. Not Wedding Singer, but what's that?
Not Wedding Singer.
Not Wedding Singer. Old School. They played at a wedding in Old School, and they were in The Hangover.
The Hangover, yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the idea is
favorites of Todd Haynes.
Yeah.
I thought that was the
Todd
same
Phillips.
band that was in. I guess. Okay, you're right. Yeah. Total Eclipse of the Heart. Yep.
Yeah. So they take like old love songs and make them super profane in hilarious ways.
Yep.
That's their thing, and yeah, they're just a kick. And once you've seen them in a couple of movies, as soon as they show up on screen, you're like, yes, this is going to be hilarious. So yeah, those are my honorable mentions, and then my number one. This is from the Blues Brothers, which I mean, you could take any musician that showed up in the Blues Brothers, and they could make this list.
You mean like the Blues Brothers?
Well, that would not be a real band, but
true.
I'm talking about actual bands. But yeah, but my pick is Aretha Franklin. Her scene in Blues Brothers is my absolute favorite.
Yeah.
It's so much fun to have her just kind of playing this kind of grumpy restaurant owner, and they have to recruit her boyfriend to go back into the band, and she just launches into Think, and it's
seamlessly
such a fun song. Yeah, it's such a blast. I love that.
That was very cool.
Yeah, that performance is so great, and like a lot of things that happen in that movie, it of course has absolutely no effect on anything. The guy just immediately leaves after. It's so funny, but and which is kind of an anti musical cliche, right? Like the idea in a musical is the songs are supposed to be everything, and in that movie they just kind of happen and everyone just goes, okay, whatever, and moves on. But
they all take you to the next level. They push the story forward as a musical should.
Yeah.
And didn't he just woman, I'm going, or it was pretty like at the end of the song,
it was
he just picks up his instrument and says, all right, let's go.
Perfect.
And
wow.
Lou go, and there's was it Lou Marini? He goes, go on, you go too.
Yep. Yeah, lost her entire crew to that band, but
and it finishes with shoot. Which isn't the right line until you see the right line. And
that's right. Yeah. But yeah, absolutely love that scene. I love that performance. So much fun. I've seen that movie a million times, but I'll rewatch that scene on YouTube any day of the week. I love it. It's so much fun. So that's my pick.
It's my mom's favorite scene in the movie too. And then she's like, "Oh, she wouldn't do that." I'm like, "Mom, it's a movie. Let it go."
It's a musical. It doesn't have to make sense.
Mother, go.
Yeah, that's the one thing you picked out of that movie that didn't make sense.
Mission from God.
Yeah.
All right, Marty, moving over
sorry.
to you.
I was just going to add,
sorry.
Roger Ebert still had the best description of that movie ever. It's the Sherman tank of musicals.
Yeah. Oh,
Perfect.
That's pretty good.
I love it. All right, now, Marty, over to you.
Oh, man. So this one, unlike the rest, is the best by far. I'll fight anybody who says otherwise. Yes, I know you guys have 2 more to go. No, it's just the way they incorporated this band into the show, multiple scenes, more than just a little bit of music. The Doobie Brothers on What's Happening. Loved it. They acted in it, and not just, the couple of famous dudes. They put the whole band there. There's like 14 guys. They didn't hold back. They really incorporated them all.
Around.
It's great. They all had lines, and it was really good. My dad was a huge Doobie Brothers fan.
There you go.
And
To Pablo.
so when they came on, I'm gonna kill it, Pop. Anyway, when they came on that show, I was super excited. I called the old man because we didn't live together. I called him, "Hey, Dad, seen What's Happening?" Of course not. He was at work or at the bar. And you got to watch this. And we didn't have YouTube. We had no way of watching it. So I just had to describe it to him on the phone. And I had him cracking up at the lines and all that. It was a pretty cool moment of me and my dad. I'll always remember.
That's cool.
But, I try to watch it, a couple times a year, not to make it too stale, but, and it always reminds me of my dad because that was his band. And, just that conversation on the phone with him was really cool. I don't recall the year, but it was, 80s,
Yeah, it
90s,
was What's Happening. It was late
Early
70s.
80s.
Now, Marty,
late 80s.
Do you want to let our audience know the good message that the Doobie Brothers were trying to impart on Rerun during that episode?
Oh, yeah. Well, pirating is bad. Yes, remember he was recording in his jacket, and then he was dancing, and his fat ass dropped the recorder.
Doing the
It was
rerun.
about this big. Yes. Yeah, it's bad. There was a whole talent show aspect. Anyway,
Bootlegging, bad.
really loved the whole thing. They actually put the whole band in the show, not just for some little quick cameo. It was just cool. I loved it. And it reminded me of my old man. So that's my number 1.
All right.
Awesome.
Well, one more for Pablo.
Amen.
I know, Marty, you killed it already, so I know. Well, I thought Marty was actually gonna. I love that call, Marty, because I thought you and I were going to double up on something. So, I'm going to save it for it's my capo de capo tutti, but I got 2 more. I got 3 more honorable mentions. Very quickly, Tone Loc in The Adventures of Ford Fairlane.
Very cool.
Both Alice in Chains and Soundgarden performing in the movie Singles. Jim, I thought for sure you up there in the Northwest and fellow Singles fan.
I thought somebody would get that one.
That's an honorable mention for me, and that's just awesome songs in that. And my final honorable mention tonight is Waylon Jennings, who actually performed the theme song to Dukes of Hazzard, but when he popped up on the Dukes of Hazzard,
I remember
playing himself.
I remember.
As so many acts did on that show, but Waylon is the one that stuck out the most for me. But my number 1, my gold, not my bronze, not my silver, my gold, goes to Anthrax on Married with Children.
Yeah, that was.
They had lines, multiple scenes. They were just hanging out. It was a snowstorm. Kelly Well, did Kelly win the contest? Kelly won the contest. I think you'll get to party with the band, or was it Bud?
Yeah.
Whoever it was, Bud's trying to impress a girl as he always does, and Kelly, of course, the ultimate groupie, hanger on, Band-Aid, whatever you want to call her for Anthrax.
Band-Aid.
Some ham-fisted lines, but damn it was Anthrax, and they were awesome on Married with Children. The
Awesome.
perfect band. And I had just latched on to Anthrax I was just becoming a fan at that stage. So it was cool to see them on a show that I watched. So there you go. That's
Very
my
cool.
board. All right, so now, folks, we are switching to our plus one, and the plus one is our favorite fake band or favorite.
Do we get to go backward for this one?
Oh, I think we can.
Whoop, 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 whoop.
Down to the middle and back again. We'll go in reverse till the end. Okay, we're done.
So is it like Uno? It's a reverse, so you go again? Is that how it works?
Christine is called reverse. So do I go now?
Sure.
All right, fine. We will again. This one is, and we're gonna do a show on this one. This was hard for a boy from a certain part of the world not to name
The Onators.
Onators.
The Onators.
The Onators are not my number one favorite fictional band.
So why are you wearing the shirt, man?
Well, because
Still
I'm from
funny.
Erie, PA. Can you not read the shirt? I had to give the boys some love from
Hope
Erie,
that wasn't
PA.
your-
Okay.
I hope that wasn't your pick there, Jim.
Nope.
There's so many.
Nope.
And over, let's see, it would be this shoulder right there. We can see Sis and Dick, also from the movie Singles. But my number one is a deep cut. This show lasted maybe I think it was only 18 episodes for this season. It was the first showcase, his own starring show, Jason Bateman on the show It's Your Move, and the fake band Dregs of Humanity. A band that he came up with. He was perpetually scheming on this show.
Yes.
Jason Bateman I fell in love with him
He's
on
awesome.
Silver Spoons. He gets this vehicle, It's Your Move, awesome, 84, 85. Awesome show. He was always, and here back to Married with Children. Here's a callback. David Garrison, who played the first Marcy's first husband on Married with Children. David Garrison was his nemesis, dating his mom, if I remember correctly. He's principal of the school. There's a school, a talent show, whatever it was. But he came up, Jason Bateman, the scam he came up with to get money from the school. He invented the band Dregs of Humanity. There was no band. It was just skeletons that he was working. He and his buddy Eli, as played by Adam Sadowski, and rest in peace, Adam Sadowski. And they faked everybody out, and it was just a bunch of skeletons, which we saw later in the decade when Grateful Dead had their big top 40 single,
Shades of Grey.
Touch of Grey. Touch of Grey.
Oh,
Shades
Touch of Grey.
Shades of
Sorry.
Grey's a sexy novel series, baby. Come on now.
Sorry.
Wait,
Uh,
Touch
I don't
of
like
Grey
that
is a
one either.
Grateful Dead
Touch of Grey.
album.
I'm not a Grateful Dead fan, but that was a pretty
Yeah.
good poppy song. But if you've seen the video for Touch of Grey, you basically saw it was a ripoff of Dregs of Humanity. My favorite fake band. But with the Wonders, and I was also going to go meta and pick the fake band within the fake band, Captain Geach and the Shrimp Shack Shooters. Much love from the Wonders, the Onators. Marty, over to you.
All right. So I have it's a 1A, 1B, but shockingly, I'm going to go with the 1B as my favorite. I have my honorable mention, but I don't want to steal it if it's somebody else's, but I doubt it. Anyway.
Tell you what, we'll come back to you if you don't hear it from the next three to hear your honorable mention.
Perfect. So, knowing my propensity for metal and all things metal, it seems like a slam dunk, but it's not, because I prefer, just slightly, Stillwater. Anybody?
You got your fever dog.
Almost Famous.
I am
Yes.
a golden god.
Stillwater from Almost Famous. What a great band. The
We were
music
just
was
listening
good,
to
even
that
though it
album
was,
this afternoon.
and they ended up being kind of a real band a little bit. They would go out and do, 3-song gigs or whatever. mainly to promote the movie, but they were all playing their instruments. Wow. Just drew a blank on his name. Jim, help me
Billy
out.
Jason Lee, Billy Crudup.
Credit. Thank you. He actually learned how to play guitar so that he could do this movie. Like, wow. Just that's not an easy thing to do because he played some cool shit. Yeah, so I loved everything about that movie 1,000 times. It's in my top 10 movies of all time, and
We need to
that's
watch
my
that again.
favorite fictional band. And I think maybe I like the other band a little better, but the movie was so much better that anyway, we'll see. There's
Thank you for not mentioning the other one in case it's mine.
3 more persons to go, but I'm feeling pretty confident that my honorable mention will make it.
Love it. That's
All right. And
All right,
since you brought up Billy Crudup, like how many actors could play the lead singer of Stillwater and Dr. Manhattan from
No
Watchmen?
kidding.
Like, man, range for days
No
with that guy.
kidding.
He's one of my favorite actors.
There's so many times
Jim,
I'm like, wait, that's him? Holy crap.
For real.
He was
I
in
would
my
say,
favorite
Jim,
movie. Crap, what's it called?
That's a weird name for a movie.
Big Fish?
Yes, thank you, Big Fish.
Yes.
Oh, what a shock. Jim knew the movie.
That
And
movie,
Jim,
like,
how does he do it, Jim? Because he's a golden god.
He is a golden god.
I'm a golden god.
Okay, so I'm just gonna rattle off a couple honorable mentions I had. Obviously, the Blues Brothers was one. Soggy Bottom Boys from Oh Brother Where Art Thou?
Ooh, forgot about that.
Good one.
Lone Rangers from Airheads, which is
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
hilarious band name to me.
That was on my list.
Okay. So my pick is I'm going to double dip with Wayne's World and pick Crucial Taunt, Cassandra's band. From that
Nice.
movie.
Very
Yeah.
nice.
And just an all around great band. First of all, I crushed like crazy on Tia Carrere back then, and she had an absolutely amazing voice, and her bandmates were amazing. Like they were all professional musicians. They could play. It really felt like an early '90s metal band. And I mean, she even tried to kind of have a musical career after that as a solo artist. And I thought, man, why didn't they just make Crucial Taunt a real band and go out and tour with it? It would have been fantastic. I think they only play three. They play 3 different numbers in the movie, but they're all just absolutely rocking it.
Yeah, very good.
That's my
Yeah.
no offense to the Sweet, but that's my favorite version of Ballroom Blitz.
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah,
fantastic.
they do a really good version of Ballroom
Love it.
All
Blitz.
right. I like Crocus a little better, but that's okay.
Ooh, shit! I forgot about Crocus.
That's
I don't
pretty
think I've
good.
heard that version.
Damn it, Zamora! Damn it!
It's really the same song, just a little more metally.
Yeah.
Turn the distortion up to 8.
Mark Storis is a bit of a better vocalist than Tia Carrere, but yeah, well, okay, 1A and 1B.
Yeah. She's way hotter though.
Well, she's a mega babe.
And
She's
hot
Abraham
Maddie.
Lincoln.
She's magically
Left camera,
delicious.
right camera. Left camera, right camera.
Those of you only listening to the audio platforms, you have just missed out on some hilarity from Mr. Zamora, and head on over to YouTube at the 44ish minute mark.
Yes.
Dance monkey dance.
That's right.
All right, Skeeter, up to you.
Mine, this was the only one that I actually could think of when I saw the prompt. And it's Loaded Diaper from Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
Oh man. Holy crap.
That's
Loaded
my favorite
Diaper.
Christian band, I would have to say.
That is the best.
That's awesome.
I don't even know where to go with this. Loaded Diaper. That's
Loaded
awesome.
Diaper.
That's a great band
so
name
good.
anyway.
So good. God, I wish I had a punk band named that.
Right?
Marty, it's not too late.
It's not.
You've got
I
a
got
grandson who's what?
the,
He's a freshman, he's a sophomore.
Yeah, he's a freshman. I
Yeah.
got
Get him
all the
going.
crap. I got all the crap.
You got
It's got to
Make it
write some
happen.
songs now.
deal with the lawsuit from Diver and Wimpy Kid later.
That's
You
right.
got to make money before they sue you.
It's homage.
Look, awesome call, Skeeter.
Yep. Yeah, that was
Loaded
awesome.
Diaper. All right, Christine, to you.
Okay, so before I reveal my favorite fake band from a movie, and I may have actually mentioned it on a previous episode here, so if you've been paying attention, you might know what the answer is.
I
But
don't
my honorable mention, because I remembered there was a great limited series that was actually out this year, Daisy Jones and the Six. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend watching it. It was super entertaining and the music was great. I actually really enjoyed it a lot. But my all-time favorite fake band is from the 2001 movie Rockstar, Steel Dragon.
There it is.
Heck yeah.
Awesome.
Stand up and
Awesome.
shout!
Oh, the
Not bad.
vocals.
Nice.
Zach Wild on guitar. Yes. Jason
And I'm not a
Bonham.
metalhead either, but I freaking love him.
Yeah, that was Jason Bonham on drums. I mean,
Yeah,
man,
that's a
was
great
so
band.
cool.
Yeah.
So good. So, like I said, the band, I like them maybe a little better, but overall, the movies.
Thank you, Marty. Thank you for letting
That's
me
why I
have
held
it.
back because I knew somebody would get them. That's awesome.
Marty, was that your second? Was that your 1B?
That was my 1A, actually.
Thank you,
That was
Marty.
my 1A. And then,
Wow.
yeah, love that. Love it, love it, love it. So awesome, Christine. We're
Thank
sharing
you.
a brain on that one.
Yep.
Very, very cool.
Well, there you have it, folks. We have music out as usual on this on all over the place, and I want to thank Skeeter for jumping in on this one. And she
I have another one.
had one, then she had two,
Can
then
I
she
do
had
one more?
three.
Can I do another honorable mention?
Go right
Sure,
ahead.
go ahead.
I have another honorable mention. I thought
Mine, we
Christine
can
was
be
going to
here all
bring it
night.
up,
We can
and
go
we're
all
talking
night.
over each other. But
It's only been
go.
47 minutes. We're fine.
We're good.
Now, this is going to be maybe only Eric will remember it because the rest of you are just too young.
Okay,
Christine's a year younger than I am, Marty.
come
See?
on.
See, it's a band called Pain. Anybody
Okay.
remember the show? Super weird.
As soon as you say it, I'm going to get it.
Chips. It was a punk
I don't remember
band
that.
from Chips. They were like
I
this
remember
punk
Chips.
band that was on this crime spree, and the CHP was investigating him. By the way, little known fact: the CHP does not investigate anything except traffic accidents. But man, they always had to have some sort of script. So it was this punk band, and they were having battle of the bands, and there was like a new wave band with this cool girl with pink hair, and it was Pain. They were great.
Marty, since you're bringing this up, and Christine, this is to you from a show that you used to work on. We'll just call it that. Donnie Most appearing on Chips as a Kiss kind of band.
Yes.
Another fake band from Chips.
Yes. So yeah, and believe it or not, their hit song was "I Dig Pain." Super spot on. But
I actually came up with one earlier tonight. Does anybody know what the band name for Richie Cunningham and Potsy and Ralph Mills? Anybody remember what their band's name was?
I remember the drummer's name,
Well, of course we do.
but I can't remember the band.
Do you who was another fake band who was like the real band with it, again getting very meta while you're on Happy Days? Susie Quattro playing Leather Toscadero. So that could have been mentioned. How would we have mentioned that tonight?
Yes.
Was she real? She's Susie Quattro, so real musician playing in a fake band on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I've got my final honorable mention going back to 1983. Michael Pare, Tour de Force, Tom Berenger, Ellen Barkin.
Yes.
Eddie
How did
and
no
the
one bring
Mother
that one up?
Flippin' Cruisers.
I was wondering how that didn't show up on someone's list. Here we are.
The fabulous
Eddie and the Cruisers.
EAD chord progression that is also. I was at one of those piano bars this back in the 90s at some point, and we asked them to do ROCK in the USA, and he morphed it.
Eddie and the Cruisers.
Oh, no. I said, but he started playing ROCK in the USA, EEAADDAAA, and it's the same. And then he went from that into What I Like About You, and then into On the Dark Side.
Oh,
Wow.
Yes.
And
that.
Marty, who's that guy? The guy from, is it State? Help me out. That guy who just goes out solo and he just shout out a song from the crowd. He knows it.
Oh, Aaron Lewis.
He did a song. He did that earlier this year, and he did like the medley of those last year or in recent years. And he even threw in Cherry Cherry from
Oh.
Neil Diamond. It's all
Wow.
that same chord progression. But
What's
Eddie and
that
the
three-piece
Cruisers.
band?
What's
There's a
that?
three-piece band that does this too. It's like the greatest band in the history of the universe or something. It's three
Oh,
guys and they do the four chords.
The Australian guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
All songs revolve around the same
Yeah,
three
yeah.
chords. All right. Trivia with Eric. Shifting into trivia with Jim. Eddie and the Cruisers, fictional band. Who was the real band that Michael Pare was lip syncing to?
That I do not know.
Oh,
Marty.
no. Yeah. No, I don't have it.
Christine. I brought up earlier today.
Wait.
Straight out of Rhode Island.
Mike and the Mechanics.
No, John
No,
Cafferty.
there is an and in there.
Oh, Sonny and Cher. Got it.
Yes. Christine.
I said, isn't it like John Cafferty or something like that?
And
The Beaver Brown Band?
boom, Jim. See, folks, we help
Combo.
each other
Yes,
on this
Google
show.
it.
John
No.
Cafferty and the
No.
Beaver Brown Band.
You Googled it.
I did not. You said John Cafferty. I knew what the rest of the name
oh,
was.
okay.
Why we got to hate on this show? There's no
Okay.
hate.
Well, I'm not hating.
We're a team. We help each other. Straight out of Narragansett, Rhode Island, where my father was stationed, and I celebrated my second birthday. John Cafferty and the Beaver Brown Band, Eddie and the Cruisers. It's 2024, folks. The 40th anniversary of Streets of Fire. Look for Michael Pare on the show later this year.
Ooh, we're getting him.
We're going to have it,
That'd
folks. Again, all over the place. We're going to wrap
Highlander
this show up.
himself.
Skeeter's starting to fall asleep. I see her over there in
Yeah,
the
she is.
upper right corner. Awesome first show of the year, folks. One more to Pablo Zamora.
Pablo.
No. I'm out too now.
I just killed mine, Marty.
There he
Boom,
is.
there he is.
Aw, Papa.
Requiescat an pace. I just butchered Latin like nobody's business. But
No, sorry, nobody
Christine,
knows.
Marty, Jim, Skeeter, thanks for kicking off 2024. Gonna be another great year, folks. Thanks for listening here
Hasta la
on All
bye-bye.
Over the Place, the official podcast of Media Pub Live. Don't forget, subscribe, like, and what, Christine?
Share.
Share and share alike, folks, all over the place. We love you. Thanks for listening.
Bye-bye.
Thanks.
All over the place, where the fun sanity never ends.